Hello my dear students, this is the third video lecture on web designing chapter. From the previous lecture, all of you learned to create the web pages by using different types of HTML tags. I think the question arises in your mind, how we can represent our own web pages into the internet, or how to create our own website in www. This video lecture helps you to clarify these doubts. The agenda of this video lecture consists of web hosting, steps for web hosting, domain registration, XML, DHTML, web scripting, advantages of www and disadvantages of www. Move to the first concept, web hosting. The definition of web hosting is hosting the web server application on a computer system through which electronic content on the internet is readily available to any web browser client. Means it is a process of representing your web pages into the internet. It can be available to any web browser client. Means what the pages you created using the HTML tags that can be uploaded into the internet, it is available to any web browser client. In the previous class, you learned the different types of web browsers. Examples for the web browsers like Internet Explorer, Firefox, Chrome. Like that, by using different browsers, the user can access your web pages. In your examination, the question may be like this: define web hosting, or what is meant by web hosting, for 1 mark. Possible to represent your web pages by using 4 different ways. Means types of web hosting. First type is free hosting, virtual hosting, dedicated hosting, and co-location hosting. Free hosting means hosting web pages for no cost. Means for the free of cost, web pages can be uploaded. This type of hosting used for the experimental purpose only. For the testing purpose, free hosting technique is useful. Some of the prominent sites are available in the internet to represent your web pages for the testing purpose or for the purpose of fun. Web pages can be uploaded, but it is available for specific duration only. For the testing purpose, free hosting technique is useful. Next type is virtual hosting. Virtual hosting is also called as shared hosting. It is provided under one own domain name. Means domain name is an web address or URL name. By using that specific URL name, the company can represent their websites. For the examination point of view, it's an 1 mark important question. Define domain. The answer is domain is an web address or domain is an URL name. Means uniform resource location name. By using the domain name, the company can represent their websites. Oneself as fully independent identity by using specific username and password provided from web hosting company. Along with that, the company should have web hosting plan to host their websites. Third type is dedicated hosting. Here the company wishing to go through online runs an entire web server from the web hosting company. This technique is suitable for the company hosting large websites, maintaining other sites, or maintaining big online malls, etc. Here the hosting company itself responsible for maintenance of sites and updation of websites, not the company. Next type is co-location hosting. For those who do not fit to the dedicated server model, hosting companies offers similar but less restrictive hosting known as co-location hosting. Here the company actually owning the sites rather than the web hosting company. Web hosting company is responsible for all server administration. The web hosting company is only responsible for providing Rocco space and the physical needs. Other activities need to be carried out by the company itself. Move to the next concept, steps for web hosting. First step is to register domain name. Means the person or the company need to represent their websites into the internet. They need to register or purchase the domain name. To register the domain name itself, it consists of set of procedure. In the next slide, I will explain how you need to follow some procedure to register the domain. First stage is to register the domain name. After register the domain name, the user or the specific company can host their websites through the URL name or the domain name. Then configure domain name through Gmail. After hosting their website, they can get the confirmation through Gmail. Then set up web host manager account. After hosting their websites, the website need to be maintained by some person related to the company, right? In that case, web hosting manager account need to be open and the person need to manage that website. Then access cPanel account means company panel account need to be open and that need to be maintained, and add the clients to the specific websites created by the company. These are the stages need to follow to host a web page. Move to the next concept, domain registration. To register the domain itself, you need to follow these stages. First is determining the name. You need to decide the name for your domain. Then after deciding, you need to think about the name, whether the decided name is match with the activity you need to carry out through the web pages, and you need to getting an ISP and web host. ISP stand for Internet Service Provider. You should have the internet access to register your domain, and you need to go through the web hosting company. Then contact with a domain name server to purchase the domain name and register your domain name. Before going to follow these stages, you should have the clarity related to these two questions. Why should a domain name? Means for what purpose you use the particular URL name to represent your identity, or whether it is for the purpose of business activity or for the commercial activity or for governance. Based on that, you need to think on bandwidth limitations and the front page extensions. Based on that, you can register your domain. Then what is a name alias? You need to think on name alias for your domain name. Some cases, some of the users interested to go through your websites, but they don't know the specific web address for your website. On that case, by using related names or keywords, they are possible to access your web pages. In that case, name alias is useful. By following these procedures, possible to register your domain names. After register your domain name, you can host your web pages by using any one type of web hosting technique. Next, move to the next concept. XML stands for Extended Markup Language. It's an next version to the HTML programming technique. Here also it uses markups, means tags, to perform the operation. The XML is an markup language represent using structured information, means each and every tag has its own structure to represent the operation Along with that, it consisting of data description. Each and every tags having the specific description related to the activity they need to carry out. Next, the XML is an human and computer friendly format, means it is very easy to understand to the user, and also it is user friendly programming language to represent the information through web pages, and handles the data in tree structure, means tree like format followed in the case of XML programming language. Like in HTML, it consisting of base tag like HTML, and it processes through different types of tags. Based on the levels of tag, it performs the operation. Nested tags are also used in the case of XML programming language. You already know what is a nested tag. Table tag is a nested tag, means it consisting of table row tag and table headline, table data tags within that, right? Like that, different types of tags can be held by particular tags in the case of XML is possible. Like structured information and text data description by using special message tags. In the case of XML, adds the special features of XML programming language. The examination, the question may be like this: mention the features of XML, mention these points. Then move to the next concept, that is DHTML. DHTML stands for Dynamic Hypertext Markup Language, means web content that changes each time it is viewed. For example, the same URL could result in different page depending on number of parameters used, like it based on the geographical location for the reader, time of the day, previous page used by the reader, and profile of the reader. Based on this parameter, the content of the page may be changed each time. Next, move to the features of DHTML. First is dynamic fonts, means way of representing the text in different fonts, style, or it may be color. It is goes on changing, depends on the time and the geographical location. It is not fixed. Programming that can address most page elements, means each and every element in the page that is addressed by the specific messages. Cascading style sheets and layering of contents. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. These style sheets are helpful to provide the additional features of representing a text. It is available in DHTML, and layering of content is possible. An object-oriented view of page and its elements. You already know what is an object-oriented view. Means already built programs like library functions are useful. Already built programs are useful to create interactive web pages by using DHTML, and used for real-time posting applications in the case of DHTML programming. I will explain the remaining three concepts: web scripting, advantages of www, and disadvantages of www in the next video.